All right, hello, year 11. Welcome back to exercise 2F. We're looking at dot plots and stem and leaf plots. Again, this might be revision for you, but I'll put together a video for you anyway. Let's start with dot plots. Now, dot plots, basically you have a number scale and each point on the dot plot represents a value. Let's have a little bit of fun with this. Now, I know we're all in lockdown, so how many times have you looked in the fridge in the last hour? I wonder if it's one of these values. I've just made them up, but we'll use them for our dot plot. The first thing you're going to need is a ruler to rule a nice straight line. Our lowest value is 1 and the highest value is 7. So I'm going to have a number line that'll encompass that. Okay, so there's a number line. Now I'm going to go across, and each time I have a value, I'm going to draw a dot above it. So we've got 5. Next value is 1, 2, 6. We've got 2 3s, 2 4s, another 1. There's the 7, 2, and 4. Now try and draw your dots roughly evenly apart so you can get an idea of what the shape of the data looks like. In particular, you can identify the mode, which is right here, because you can see that there's 3 dots above the 4 that's got the most. And dot plots are great when you've got a small set of data that isn't too spread out, like it's in a small, neat cluster of numbers. Let's move on to stem and leaf plots. For this, we're going to pretend this data is for how many seconds people wash their hands for. Still applicable to the current climate, remembering that you should be washing your hands for about 30 seconds. So with a stem and leaf plot, it's almost like a dot plot turned on its side, but instead of just having dots, you're going to write part of the numbers, remembering that the first part of the number is the stem and the last digit in the number is the leaf. Also, don't forget to include a key once you've finished your stem and leaf plot so the reader knows how to read it. All right, let's have a look at this data set. I can see that the lowest number, some dirty bugger didn't wash their hand, is 0. And the highest number is someone particularly overzealous, 70 seconds. And I also think I will go up by tens. So each group of 10 will have its own stem. Again, get your ruler out so you can draw a nice straight line. And let's start doing our numbers. So we have 0, 1, 2, representing the 20s, 30, 40s, 50s, 60s, 70s, 80s, and I don't need to go that far. Okay, so let's start crossing off our data. The lowest value is 0, so I'm going to put that there and cross that out. My next lowest value is 10, so that means I need to go to the next line and draw a 0 there. So the 1 is the first digit in the value and the 0 represents the second digit, and that makes 10. There's another 10 up there. And we've got a 14 and 15 and another 15 and 16. And there's 19 as well. So that's what you do. You go through the data one at a time, trying to get them in order so you can lay them out like that. Okay, once you've got it all done, what you need to do is quickly check that you have all your data points by making sure that the number of leaves is the same as the number of values up here. There's 22 values, so I should have 22 leaves. Okay, so once you've checked that, then make sure you do your key. So you just pick a number, write it as 3/3 represents 33 seconds. Of course, that's very important because it tells your reader how to read the stem and leaf plot that you've just created. Now that you have your stem and leaf plot, you can talk about the shape of the data. So you can see, because it's been written in order, that there's a skew to the data. We've got a long tail going up into the bigger positive numbers, so this data has a positive skew. And you might write a statement something like this to say, this data has a positive skew and shows that most people don't wash their hands for at least 30 seconds. It's not very COVID safe. And stem and leaf plots are good for when you've got a small amount of data. You see I just had 22 values there, but it was a little more spread out than the previous set of data. Went across several groups of tens. So that's why it was good to use a stem and leaf plot for this particular data. Okay, that's it for this particular exercise. Good luck, enjoy, and I will see you for 2G, where you start to learn mean and medians and modes.